Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering writing a book for beginners. Writing a book can be super hard, super challenging, overwhelming. Let's make this process easier. If you're not quite sure how to get started with writing your book, this video could be perfect for you. By the end of this video, you will learn how to figure out what you want to say in your book, how to consider your book goals, and how to stick with it, how to keep going when you hit a wall. And stay tuned until the end of the video for an opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. I think it's awesome that you want to write a book. I really do. It's so empowering to write a book. It can be life-changing. It can open up so many doors and unlock so many opportunities for you, both internally and externally. So I think it's awesome that you're thinking about writing a book. Within that though, I want you to really dig deep and figure out what you want to say. What is this story that you're sharing? What is this message all about? Think about it. Why is this the thing that you want to focus on? I think by doing that and by really tapping into what you want to say, it can really help to empower you to write the most powerful book that you can. And that really ties into the topic of the book, the subject of the book. This is going to be something that you're going to stick with and be connected to for years to come. Not just the writing process, but then the editing process, the production process, the publication process, the promotion process. You're going to be connected to this book for multiple years if you see it through the right way. So if that's the case, this better be something that you're interested in talking about, writing about, and exploring, because otherwise it's going to be a chore to stick with this book. Along those lines, figure out what your purpose is for writing this book. What's your why? Why are you doing this thing? What do you want to accomplish from your book? It could be, developing your career. It could be establishing yourself as a thought leader. It could be helping you get speaking engagements. Whatever the case may be, figure out why you're writing this book. Because if you're not unlocking that element, if you're really struggling to figure out the why, you're going to give up at the first sign of struggle. You're going to give up and walk away and put this book to the side and never think about it again. I don't want that for you. I want you to pick something that's going to empower you to keep going, which is why you really need to figure out what you want to accomplish, because these are really tough, difficult tasks, and understanding your why is going to help motivate you to keep going. Audience matters. It's such a meaningful pursuit to write a book for the author. I think we write books for ourselves. We write books so other people can read them, but we write them for ourselves. This is the book that I wanted to read, and I didn't get the chance to, so I wrote it, That's a meaningful process, but your book is for a reader. Why are they going to want to read the book? It's not just about you understanding your own purpose. It's about why a reader would want to read your book. So now there's two purposes that you're dealing with. There's the purpose of you writing the book, and then there's the purpose of the reader wanting to keep going. They need to know that this book has information that can help them. And they need to understand that if they stick with reading the book, they're going to accomplish these huge goals for themselves. If you don't explain the reader value of the book, and you don't understand within yourself the author value of the book, of writing this thing, you're never going to be able to unlock this. And even if you finish the book, it's not going to feel empowering for you. So on both sides, it's so valuable to really dig into that. Map it out, outline it, structure your book in a powerful way. The structure and the outline are going to help the reader to keep going, even when they face these walls and doubts, and when life gets in the way for them, life gets busy, they're going to say, I'm going to put this down, I'm going to pick it up later. I want to keep reading. You don't want to give them a reason to put the book down, and if they do put the book down, you want them to be committed to picking it back up and keep going. So there's things that you need to do within the process, and creating an outline is a great one. You need to create an outline that's going to inspire the reader to want to keep reading this because they want the rewards at the end of this journey. Again, this process is really hard. You're going to want to give up at some points. You need to stick with it. Sticking with it is so valuable. There's going to be points in time when you want to walk away from this project, and there might be points in time where you do walk away from the project, then just put it aside for a little bit. You need to find a way to keep going, and this determination, this willpower, needs to rise above. There's so many different ways to get words down. I think one of the ways that authors get stuck during this process is they don't really figure out how to be empowered themselves as a writer. You can write by just pen to paper, you can type into a keyboard or computer, and you can do walk and talk and use voice-to-text transcription and get words down that way by telling your stories. You need to figure out what's going to keep you writing. If you're stuck in the writing process because you don't like the technology or because you're not empowered by the process, you're going to give up. So you want to eliminate those distractions as much as you can and figure out what process and system will work for you. Now, I think a lot of times authors get stuck on the outcomes and the results. I want you to focus on the journey. I want you to focus on what it means to do this work again and again, day after day, facing these struggles and to continue forward, to do your best work, amid all these challenges. We focus on the results, but we should really be focusing on the journey. This is a journey of discovery. It's a journey of growth. It's a journey of progress for you. And we need to be focused on the journey and not the results. I don't want you to worry about how many books you sold. I want you to worry about the impact you've had with the readers that did pick up your book. That's what matters the most. It's not the odds, and it's not the things that you think. And it's just so meaningful, when you can really focus on the journey and the journey of self-growth that can follow from book writing. That it's really worth it to write a book. It's just an important thing to keep with it and stick with it and really just focus on making progress and writing the best book possible instead of the outcomes, because the outcomes are ultimately out of your control. Things could happen, things could pop up, sales metrics could be disappointing. You need to make the most of that either way, and that's by the journey itself. If you want to learn more about writing a book for beginners, there's a course that I created, an online course that I think would be great for you, and it's my Good Book Accountability course, and it's at my website, goodbookmastery.com. You can click the link below. It's really just an empowering process to be able to connect with other writers, to share lessons, insights, share some of my tips from writing or ghostwriting 30 books, and just helping empower people and building this community of authors. It's just a really special process, and if you're interested in building that accountability structure to help you along the process, definitely check it out. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.